Have you ever noticed how your mind can take a small, ordinary problem and turn it into a full-blown disaster in just a few seconds? 1 minute, something minor happens, and the next thing you know, you're mentally living in a worst-case future, feeling anxious and tense, or even hopeless, even though nothing is actually going on yet. If you do this, it doesn't mean you're pessimistic or broken. It means your brain is doing exactly what it was evolved to do. Humans have a built-in negativity bias, a survival feature that helped our ancestors stay alive. If you were a hunter-gatherer, it was nice to remember which berries tasted good, but it was critical to remember which ones could kill you. The problem is that the same survival system is now applied to everything: traffic, work, relationships, and everyday stress. Let me show you how this happens, and more importantly, how to slow it down before your mind runs too far ahead of reality. I'm Dan, and this is Mind Care Compass. So imagine I'm driving to work one morning and someone pulls out in front of me, driving excruciatingly slowly. As I hit the brakes, my mind instantly rushes ahead, thinking, now I'm going to be late for work. What if my boss yells at me because he notices me coming in late? And maybe he actually fires me. Then I can't pay my bills. Then I'll lose my house, and then I'll be homeless. Notice how quickly we move from a single small incident to worst case scenario, and how my body reacts as if that outcome is already inevitable. Now my heart is pounding and I feel frantic just because someone is driving slowly. I like to think of this like a freight train, and we jump from the engine to the caboose without recognizing the unlikely connection between each boxcar. Maybe the first two happen, but as we go along, the likelihood of each consecutive thing happening becomes increasingly improbable. Sometimes that helps, but that's a logical argument, and logic isn't always effective against an emotional reaction. What's often more helpful is simply noticing how fast your mind has raced ahead of reality. None of those things is actually happening right now. This is called mindful awareness. And it's kind of like standing on the bank of a river watching thoughts flow past, instead of being actually caught in the current. When I bring myself back to the present and remind myself all I have to deal with is what is actually going on right now, my nervous system can settle down. Another useful question is to look at the feared outcome and ask, then what? We tend to rush to the end and stop there, leaving ourselves frozen in disaster. But when we ask, then what? We often realize that even if the worst thing happened, it would be incredibly hard but not unmanageable. If I did lose my job, maybe that would be painful, but it might also push me towards something better. Or what if my partner did leave? That would be devastating, sure, but if they were that unhappy, we're probably both better off to separate and seek healthier connections. Sometimes people push back here and say, wait a second, the worst case scenario is I die. There is no then what. And that's true in an abstract sense, but notice something important. Your mind almost never jumps straight to death. It usually jumps to things like humiliation, abandonment, failure, rejection, and then treats those as if they were death. Worst case scenario thinking isn't fortune telling. It's your brain asking for certainty in a world that doesn't offer it. When something crosses from the familiar to the unknown, your mind tries to regain control by running scenarios. It feels like preparation, but it doesn't actually give you any control. Thinking about an outcome doesn't influence it, and rehearsing a disaster doesn't prevent it. What does help is learning to notice when your mind has left the present moment and gently bringing your attention back to what's real right now. That's the core of mindfulness. It's not about emptying your mind or being calm all the time, but seeing thoughts for what they are, just mental activity, not instructions or predictions. You can control your thoughts rather than them being in control of you. And when you do that, worst case scenarios lose their grip. Not because uncertainty is gone, but because you've stopped fighting it. Learning to tolerate the unknown is one of the most powerful ways to reduce anxiety and overall suffering in life. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.